get to talk about how did you come to the autism community? What's your connection to autism?
Well, in a nutshell, I was singing in a club many years ago in the Valley, and I had met a woman, and we had, become friends, and we lost touch. And then when I moved out to Ventura County, my son was diagnosed, and I saw her on the list, and she brought me into the autism community. But basically, I had taken my son for a diagnosis. We knew something was not right. And they told me he's not autistic because he loves his grandma and he makes eye contact. So we weren't thinking about that. And then I was reading Home and Garden, actually, and he met all the 10 criteria. So I took him to UCLA, and they said he's very finitely autistic and Asperger's together. And they'll always tell you Asperger's, but he is autistic too. So,
and it's interesting because somebody was asking just yesterday. We were talking about Asperger's not being part of the diagnosis anymore in the new DSM-5 and why, and it is a very confusing thing for some people that. In the previous diagnosis, you could have Asperger's, but people always assumed that that was a lesser version of autism. But the truth was that you could have Asperger's and be more severe in those two areas. And that there are many people who have classic autism that are actually very functional, and people confuse that with Asperger's. So it's a very confusing thing for a lot of people. But we have a spectrum.
Yes, it is very much
It's
a spectrum. And if you will see that most of the individuals, with autism are very lovable characters.
And are very loving.
Yes, very loving.
This idea that, he can't have autism because he loves his grandmother.
That's ridiculous.
It's mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling.
Yeah, you can't just take one person's diagnosis or advice. You have to, as a mom, you have to keep moving forward and talk to other people like with your show and get information.
And so how old is your son now?
My Julian, he is 13 years old.
And you can just see it on your face. He's the light of your life.
He's my darkness and my light.
Well, 13, yes.
he's been a teenager since he's born. Since he's born, he's 17, 4, 40, and I don't know, whatever age he is now.
And so we've been talking about passion all week long. What's Julian passionate about?
I hate to tell you this, but he loves the shopping mall.
Why? What's wrong with that?
He loves the change of the city. When they're reconstructing or building things, any changes he's fascinated with.
So maybe an inner engineer that
Yes, very engineer. It's not that he loves to shop. He just loves to be at the mall. He loves the fixtures, the excitement, the puppy store.
That's wonderful.
He's very, very fascinated with the changes and the improvements.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so you've been a singer well before he ever came to the planet.
Yes.
Do you sing to him? Does he like it when Mom sings to him?
Well, I do sing to him, and I wrote a song, Looking for Julian. It was supposed to be a lullaby, and then suddenly it was this metaphor for autism that I didn't realize was the pink elephant in the room, and it was in another film, and I'm reworking it right now. But yes, I sing to him. In fact, I used music when he was younger to get him to cooperate. Things like, put on your shoes and tell me that you love me.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and we sing to each other in humor, but it's actually been a really good tool for communicating because it keeps it light. Music kind of goes in the back way. So when kids are particularly oppositional, music is a good way to just sort of get them to hear it.
We talk about redirecting all the time, and what a wonderful way to redirect.